right. Welcome to another episode of That Dude Podcast with me, your host, Tom Byron. And That Dude Podcast is as always sponsored by Green Genie, greengenieNewYork.com, greengenieNY.com. Make sure you go to the site and buy some gummies so my sponsor gets off my ass, because last episode I failed to mention my sponsor, which is greengenieNY.com. Go there now. Okay. All right. My guest is someone that I've known for a while. And, she had a very big run in the late 90s, early 2000s. And we're going to catch up on what she's been doing lately. So without further ado, here comes Jewel Denial. Hey,
Hello.
baby.
It's
How
nice
you been?
to be here. I've been great. I'm so happy to finally talk to you. I've seen advertisements of your new podcast when you did it with
Christy.
Christy.
Yeah.
I saw that and I was like, oh, cool. I'm so glad you're doing this.
Yeah. I love Christy, and she was a great co-host, but a little hard to nail down. She's a very busy girl, and it's hard enough to book one guest. Then I gotta take her schedule into So it's easy for me just to do one-on-one. So here we are. She kind of held my hand in the beginning, till I got comfortable with it.
She taught you.
Yeah, she's good like that. So
she is good like that.
Yeah. So what have you been doing with yourself these past, I don't know, 10 years or so?
10.
It's been a while, right?
I retired in 2004.
Oh, 2004. Okay.
And then I did a brief comeback where I did one bondage movie. I was still producing and directing up until 2007.
Yeah.
And then I got pregnant, got married, raised a child.
Right on.
Divorced, all that fun stuff,
Oh, yeah. Life. It's called life.
Life happened, and now I'm remarried and I am a commercial beekeeper.
Yeah. I noticed that. I noticed on your Twitter feed you're doing, beekeeping. Where did that come from?
My husband, he's second generation. He was like, "Are you allergic to bees?" I'm like, "No." This is a year after we were together. Right. He's like, "Do you want to learn to beekeep? You want to start beekeeping with me?" I was like, "Fuck it. I've tried everything else. There's nothing I haven't done. So, right, let's do this." And ended up really liking it, and we sell it commercially, and it's crazy.
I got to ask you, have you ever been stung?
Oh God, every time you go out. Yeah.
See, that's why I couldn't do it. You know what I mean? Because when I was a kid, there was a bee nest or whatever in our house.
Yeah, hive.
And one of them motherfuckers got right on top of my head.
Yeah.
And stung me on the top of my head.
That's the worst place.
My whole head from chest to shoulders up, I was just yeah.
You look like something out of a horror movie.
Yeah, bees are not my friends.
Yeah, so they're no joke. They're no joke.
I like honey.
Oh yeah.
I mean, honey's good, but the sting, no. I'm good. No.
Yeah, that's why there's like only 2,000 commercial beekeepers in the US. There's lots of hobbyists, but commercial companies like that do beekeeping, there's only 2,000 of them. And there's even less commercial women beekeepers because it's grueling work.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I say the same thing about beekeepers that I would say about law enforcement and the military. Yeah. Thank God they're there because I love honey, but I wouldn't want to do it myself. I couldn't handle it.
Someone's got to do it. I gotta save the world. You know that, Tom.
Exactly.
I gotta help save everybody.
Yeah.
Especially food. I like food, so I really want to save the food industry.
No, I love food. I've actually just recently been able to eat like food because I remember I used to have all those veneers in the
Yeah.
front.
Yeah.
Well, they started falling out.
Oh
It's like
no.
they don't tell you that
That
they
they
don't
don't
come
last
with the
forever.
yeah. So they started falling out. One fell out in New York or California. Then I moved to New York, and the rest of them started falling out. So I yanked them all the fuck out,
Ugh.
and now I got new teeth implants.
Well, perfect.
Yeah, so I can
Now
eat.
those
So
those will last forever.
yeah, the year and a half or whatever when I was just soup and
Yeah.
it's
Ugh.
like I'm never gonna eat soup for the rest of my life ever because
I know the feeling.
I just
Yeah.
got burned out on it. So let's
Mhm.
talk about like how you got started in the porno biz. You started out
Very.
as a contract girl, right?
Yeah, I actually was dancing in Upland, California at a place called Tropical Lay.
I know that
And
place.
yeah, that's where I started out. And then
Right on.
it had a porn shop right next to it. And Selena Steele was there dancing and she saw me on stage
Oh,
and she recruited me.
yeah, she's one
She
of my
was like,
dimes.
here. Yeah, she hooked me up actually with Clive McLean and all that. I did
Yeah,
magazine work first.
right, right.
Before I did anything adult. And then then I shot with my first scene. I did 2 scenes in one day. One was with Ed Powers and one was with Peter North.
Oh, that's a
That was my
pretty
introduction into porn. I was like, if I can handle one extreme to the other, I'm sure I'm
oh,
fine. I'm
oh yeah.
probably cut out for this. I'm good.
So that was about what 95
98,
or
98.
98.
Yeah,
Okay, so
that's
you
when I
started
made my debut. Yeah.
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 Well, you made a big impact. Because I remember you won like
Yes.
performer of the year. You were like the I
I
don't want
won so many awards.
what
There's a story I have about you is when we were at XRCO and I have they had those wooden heart-shaped
right, right.
ones with a little plaque on it back then.
Yeah.
Well, I had my arms completely full. I'm walking around like this, like I'm holding the one with my chin. And you came over and you looked at me and go, do you think you could save any for anyone else? And I looked at you and I go, fuck no. And you just kind of shook your head and went, okay.
Yeah, you had a good run there for a couple of years there,
Oh,
you
yeah,
know?
and then I went into producing and directing, and we had the Platinum X company, and, um, I moved to New York.
Directing.
Yeah,
Directing.
I did both.
I don't call Gonzo directing.
No,
Sorry.
shooting.
Even though I was one of the
Yeah,
whatever, every time I did a Gonzo movie and they gave me an award or it was like, dude, it's easy. You
yeah,
know,
yeah. I mean, if you have common sense, you can do it.
oh
But
yeah,
you have to have an eye for it, though, because there's so many people that I've
yeah.
seen shoot shit that looked horrible. You
Oh,
had
I
to have
know.
you had to have a format, you had to have an eye for it, you had to know what looked good, and you had to know what was gonna sell too.
Yeah.
But it
Well,
was just one of those things that you either knew what to do or you were just not cut out for that.
yeah. Well, I actually did kind of rehearsal. Like I had a big Rottweiler named Vinny, and I had my camera, and I would follow him around, trying
Oh,
to
yeah.
make sure he was, framed correctly, and that kind of was my training as far as camera. It's
Yeah,
like if I can
Claudio
keep,
taught me.
yeah,
Like, Claudio taught me, he was like, "This is how" he taught me everything. And
yeah,
then I was like, doing it myself at the end.
right, yeah, Claudio's a good man. Actually, probably my I don't know as far as influence or whatever with Gonzo was Alex Drenzy. Did you ever
Oh,
meet Alex?
I did, and it was, like, at
Mhm.
the very beginning of my career too.
Yeah. Yeah, I worked for Alex a lot, especially in the early '90s.
I loved watching you and, like, early stuff that you did. I love the roles, I love the look, the crazy, cheesy dialogue, the
Oh,
outfits.
yeah.
It was fucking fun, I loved those type of movies. I love doing, like, the feature whatever
Oh,
movies, but
yeah.
even going back further, like, when you pop up in a movie, I just, like those are the times when fucking porn was just evolving into
Oh, yeah.
something great, you know? And then
I mean,
Gonzo came along too, and that kinda took over because it was quicker, it was easier, it was to the point.
yep.
But I love doing features.
Oh, me too. I mean, that's why I got in the business because I wanted
Yeah.
to be in big movies. You know,
Oh, me
when I
too.
was studying the biz,
Yeah,
everything was 35 millimeter. It was all features. It
right.
was all, going to this,
Film.
crossover. And
Right,
then, yeah, and then, so I did a few feature films, but then video, uh, shot on video became a
right,
thing. You know what I mean? And then it became, okay, well, we can shoot a whole movie in a day. Why would
right.
we,
Mess with that. Everything just
yeah.
kept getting compacted and compacted and compacted and compacted into something smaller and quicker. And I don't think that was necessarily wonderful. I think when Jenna hit the scene with the high budget features,
Mhm.
like, I was part of that, the tail end of that. So
Yeah,
when I was with New Sensations, like, and I did Dark Angels, like that was a very high budget movie with special
right.
effects and stuff, and it won like every award you can think of.
That's my
And
old neighbor, Nick.
oh yeah, I
He used
don't
to
him and
live
I did go.
he lived right up the street from me when I lived, in Granada Hills.
Oh yeah, him and I. He's what cost me my contract with New Sensations because him and I couldn't get along at all.
Yeah.
He hated
Yeah.
me and I hated because he was like getting, you know, I hate to say it, but he was doing casting couch type of shit, and I called him out on it. I didn't like it that he was
Yeah, I
promising
got you.
girls to be in my movie and stuff if they did this, and I just thought it was tacky, and I was like, "You know, fuck you." So we just didn't get along, but he made a brilliant movie. I mean, Dark
Yeah,
Angels was great.
that's the thing. It's like sometimes the personality
Right.
isn't as good as the talent,
Like,
and he definitely
behind
had
behind the
talent.
scenes behind the scenes, we hated each other, but in front of the camera, we were great together, you know what I mean? Because I did
Uh,
whispers and intimate expressions and the really big one, Dark Angels, like, we did some really cool and Electric Sex was another one. We did really cool movies.
yeah. No, he's a very talented guy. Now, Dark Angels, what was that about? Was it about vampires or
Yeah, it
something?
was a vampire movie.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
and it
that
was
was
very
kind of a
mainstream.
yeah. It was kind of a thing for a while in the 90s, I think, the
Oh,
vampire.
vampire stuff just went crazy in the '90s.
Yeah.
Like, it was, like, all the rage, yeah. And in the early 2000s, up until, like, I think, like, 2004, 2005, like, everything was just vampire.
Yeah, I don't get it.
Yeah, and then it was, like,
I like
pirates
Dark
too.
Shadows. Yeah, I like Dark Shadows when I was a kid because I liked, Barnabas.
Yes.
But that's all I care about, fucking vampires, who cares?
Yeah. And now it's, like, nowadays, it's, like, all the witch stuff's taken over. There's all kind of
Yeah.
witch shows taken over and all the supernatural stuff, and I'm like, "Okay, that's a fad right now. I get it."
Yeah. I don't even
But
I mean, as far as the business and what porn about I mean, it's just not anything like it
porn
used to
is
be.
nothing anymore. It's nothing
I know.
anymore.
You know what?
It's sad, and I worked so hard to be like a woman company owner and to produce and direct and get women to be able to, you know, own their own stuff
Mhm.
and just recruit the best talent. And it's like once everyone with the fucking camera that
Yeah.
they could hold on, it just saturated the market to where
Well,
we
and plus
lost it.
like, the whole thing is kinda shifted too because of, OnlyFans and,
Which I'm
camming,
guilty of. I do
which
OnlyFans
oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
because
I
I
don't
do it.
just because 'cause I'm fucking old and nobody needs to see my fucking 64-year-old fucking wrinkled meat. But I get it, and girls, they can make
Yeah.
a lot of money doing it, but to me, it's like somebody standing in front of a 7-Eleven with a, "Please tip me." You know what I
Oh,
mean?
yeah, see,
I don't like
I run my OnlyFans different because I just for me, it's a hobby and it's for fun.
right, right.
So, I don't
Like this,
yeah,
podcasting. It's like
I
I
don't
don't
give
know.
a fuck, you
Yeah,
know? I don't give a fuck. I have a real job, I have a life, I do OnlyFans
right.
just for my fucking fans to stay in contact with them, but I'm not
Mhm.
asking them every 5 fucking minutes to tip or to do this, and I'm not spamming them constantly because I feel like that just turns a lot of people off to where they don't wanna go. So
Yeah.
I have a lot of great fans on my OnlyFans is because I don't do that. So they've stayed with me. They stick around. And I post maybe one video, I'm not shitting you, a month.
Yeah. Now,
I
is
don't
it a
have a
video that you
subscription.
do? Is it a video you shot yourself, or is it like from a movie scene or something?
No, because you can't have other people in it unless you have like all their releases.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I think that's why. Yeah. Yeah, that's
So you
stupid.
can't show any of your old stuff, but it's either me and my husband or me, my husband and a girl, or just me by myself. And I do have a 4K camera and I will do some editing on some of my stuff. And then I'll shoot some more amateur stuff where I just use my phone. But,
Right.
it goes from one end of the spectrum to the other. I kind of do a little bit of everything. Um, but I only charge for the video. Like there's no
Right.
subscription to my OnlyFans. I'm not spamming people to death every day and send them.
Yeah.
So when I put out one movie a month, I get more people buying because they
Mhm.
know I'm going to do more quality and I'm not just out there pumping out a bunch of
Right.
crap.
Yeah.
They know,
See,
oh, she
I
put out something. It's something to look forward to, and more people
yeah.
buy it because they're not seeing me every fucking day.
Yep. You're not
You
getting
have to be smart with
oversaturated.
the marketing with it too, I think, because you're gonna
Yeah.
burn people out.
Yeah. Yeah. Just the idea of like I don't want to interact with a fan. No, nothing against fans, but
Right.
I got a weird thing about interacting with strangers. You know what I
Well,
mean? It's part.
I think it's different for dudes too than it is for
Yeah.
girls because I have guys. 99% of my audience is guys, and they're talking like we're talking right now about everyday normal shit. And then they'll ask me
Right.
some sexual shit, or they'll say, "Hey, you want to rate my cock?" Sure, whatever. It's fine. It's all good.
Yeah.
Um, and I can deal with that but I think for a guy talking to other guy fans, that might,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, that gets a
I
bit
just
cringe.
yeah, like I said, I just
There's only so much you want to talk about, and you're just like, I don't want to talk about my dick no more. Just
yeah. Yeah. I mean,
like,
nothing against my my gay friends.
oh no, of
I love
course not.
everybody.
But there's only so much
But
you want to talk about your own dick.
yeah, yeah.
I can see that as a guy being like, well, yeah, well, I fucked this person, this person, this person, and my dick's been here and my dick's been there. Like,
Yeah, I know. It's
who
like
cares?
I have a book coming out
Yeah.
someday. And I think some people are going to be a little, because it's not me just saying, "Oh, this girl was great. This girl, this,
Right.
It's actually a book about my life written by Mike Sager. It's not
And
an
see, you need
autobiography.
that because now all your fans, they can just go and fucking read that and they get it all right there.
Yeah, but it's not in the book. That's what I'm saying.
Why?
It's because that's not what I'm interested in. I don't want to talk about
Okay.
girls
But
that
I mean, you could.
I could, but that's
Eh,
yeah,
yeah.
I did it. It
Eh.
was fun, and that's it.
But how much can you really talk about it to even make a book?
Well, as
You know
far
what
as
I
the girl,
mean?
I talk about I mean, I had no filter. But we've been
I don't
working.
have
I
a
think
filter.
we've
I
been
never
working
had
on
a
this.
filter. I was always very bossy and just kind of like I lived by my own terms in the adult industry, and I think that's why I didn't get ate alive.
Didn't get
You know?
ate alive. Yeah,
Yeah, I didn't get ate alive because I was just like I held my own. I knew what I wanted. I had my goals. I knew what I was
yeah.
gonna do. I wanted to reach a certain level of
Status.
status and also professionalism
Right, right.
within the industry. And then, I achieved that. And I was like, okay, let's just keep. I was going to be good producing and directing. And then all the fallout with the red light district and the owners from there. And it was just a shit show where I just,
Yeah, but it was also timing too, because by
yeah,
that
it was
time the
bad timing too.
DVD market was starting to slide down
Yeah,
fast.
and it was sliding down and everything was going to shit. And I was just tired at that point. And then I ended up getting
Yep,
pregnant. So it was just kind of like,
yep.
it was
Like,
an
yeah,
easy fucking starting a new life type of new chapter.
yeah. I mean, I had a company with, remember Frank Kresge, called Tom
Yes.
Byron Pictures. And that, like I said, timing. It's like the company was very successful. but the DVD market, it just started taking a dive.
Right. And I didn't even know what to do because I'm like not tech savvy at all. So I wasn't one of these that was going to go set up some camming streaming service because I was like, what the fuck,
Right.
How do you even go about doing that? Back then, and it was all new and it was this technology. And then Pornhub came along and just took everything and just gave it away for their membership. And there was like no control over anything with the streaming services because it was raw and new and people were just fucking throwing it out there,
But I'll tell you this.
It killed the market. It did.
Yeah. But people don't know this, but like all that free content on Pornhub and whatever, it was all sold to them.
Oh, I'm sure because my catalog, I never got paid for, but it disappeared.
Right. Yeah. And it's all up on the tube sites, but people will come in.
I know it got sold off. I'm just saying but they buy it and then I know they buy it. I shouldn't say they do it for free. They get the rights to it and then they stream it.
Right.
And then they charge a monthly fee for it or whatever, and you get everything. And how do you compete with that when they have fucking everything?
I know. Yeah, I know. I mean, it all happened in the mid 2000s, around 2004, 2005.
And I left in 2004.
Guys would come around. They would come around with a big fat checkbook, and they go, "Oh, let me get one of a number of everything, and I'll give you $30,000-$40,000." And who's going to say no? It's like, oh,
I would have been like, "Here's my whole fucking catalog. Take it."
Yeah. So that's what happened, and then they take those DVDs and they turn them into clips and they put them on all the sites. And that's what happened. So that's why whenever I hear, "Oh, porn's free," don't
it's not. But it became you sold out, and then it became free for the viewers, not free for the thing. But they're getting all this other back pay or whatever.
Yeah, traffic.
But they sold. But my catalog just fucking disappeared. And I was pregnant at the time, and it was like my stepdad and my mom were at the company, and they kind of fucked me over too. I feel like my catalog disappeared, and a lot of people got paid for it. Everybody but me.
Yeah.
And I was just at the time, I was like, I'm getting ready to have a baby. I don't care about it no more. I just washed my hands of it and walked away. Because people are like, why didn't you get the money for your catalog, or why didn't you get the rights? I was like, somebody did.
Yeah, well, I mean, I got a limited catalog of my own, but because of those rules where all the performers have to, you know what I mean? I don't have, some IDs are they're, people that are dead. How am I going to get, how am I going to get a model release from somebody who's dead?
Exactly. That makes no sense. So OnlyFans is tough because it has to just be all you.
Yeah, when did that happen though? Was that a recent thing because of all the credit card companies and stuff?
Yeah. I started OnlyFans, because the credit card companies, because you had to have the ID and you had to make sure the person paying for it, was legit. And the ID situation is they don't want any kids on there at all.
No, which I understand.
I understand. And then the other performers, and they just don't want any backlash coming onto them to make sure someone was actually a willing participant.
Yeah. So basically, I'm sitting on a whole bunch of content I can't do nothing with. So
which
awesome.
sucks. Yeah, it's fucking amazing.
Well, maybe I'll be a big.
We didn't have everything on a fucking flash drive back then. It was paperwork, actual fucking paperwork.
Yeah. I mean, I got the whole. Here's a catalog right here. That's it.
I have a bunch of those in the basement too, and I'm like, they're in a box.
Yeah.
I think there's a movie down there that was never even released, and it's still in a box in the original tapes. Wow. It's just sitting there because everything kind of crashed and went to shit, and I was just like, I have all the original. They're on tape. It's just sitting downstairs.
Hey, I'm Tom Byron, host of That Dude Podcast, sponsored by Green Genie. Your wish is my command. How good are Green Genie gummies? Let me tell you, Green Genie gummies are so strong they will quickly turn this dude into that dude. So go to greengenieny.com. That's greengenieny.com. They got gummies, they got chocolates, they got cooking oil, everything to help make America stoned again. greengenieny.com. Go now. Well, hopefully this podcasting thing takes off because, you know, I mean, Hawk Tua's got a podcast. He's like number 2 behind Joe Rogan. I mean, it's, you know, 2 or 3 behind Joe Rogan, the Hawk Tua girl.
That's crazy.
It's amazing.
Yeah. Good for her.
So maybe there's $1 in this podcasting game. I don't know. No, I think she's cute as hell. Haley Welch.
I thought it was fucking hilarious as shit. I watched that video and I about died laughing. I was like, she did not.
I just like the way she talks because she reminds me of those girls that I grew up with in Southeast Texas. You know what I mean? They're just real cute, real kind of, you know.
Fun.
Yeah.
Fun, don't give a fuck, zero filter, just having a ball.
Yeah. So good for Haley Welch.
Yeah, I saw that and I was just like, she's so fucking funny though. She is. Yeah. She's like really funny. And then she does a lot of good stuff too, because I know she donates to pet shelters.
Yeah, to Paws for America or something like that.
Yeah. So, I have a crazy thing that just happened is I'm in a video game.
Really?
The Kickstarter just came out October 1st, and they drew me in this game. It's called Mystery Kink, and it's like a Scooby-Doo parody video game, but it's like a puzzle game. So if you're 18 or over, you can play it. But it's got me, Nikki Huntsman, Blake Blossom, and you'll know this one, Kiki Adair.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, me and Kiki are in it. It's got like a legendary level, and that's where you come in. But
now,
it's got like topless stuff in it, and it's so fun and it's so cool. And they do have the Kickstarter going, and people always ask where they can get autograph stuff of me because I don't go on tour anymore. I'm not out signing autographs and doing all that. But with this Kickstarter, if they pledge, I did sign a bunch of slicks, so they can get my autograph that way. Cool. So I just want to let fans know because they're always asking me where they can get autographs of me. And I'm not at the Exoticas and I'm not at the shows because I haven't done anything relevant and other than this video game in, 20 some years.
Yeah.
But it's crazy because I have a huge fan base still.
Mm-hmm.
It's amazing to me.
Yeah. Yeah, I haven't actually been at a public porn function in well over 10 years, but I'm going to Exotica in New Jersey week after next.
That's going to be exciting. I haven't been to one since I went in 2008. January of 2008 was my very last avian show, and then I got pregnant in February of 2008.
Yeah, I'm only going because I'm driving down. I don't have to deal with an airport. So
right, you're right there. So why not? Are you going there signing? And just going there to walk around, or are you?
I'm gonna sign. I'm gonna bring some pictures. I'm gonna bring my mic so I could maybe shoot an episode while I'm there. I'm gonna be James Bartley, right?
Who?
James Bartley, yeah.
Yeah. He does the Legends booth.
Right. Well, I'm gonna be at the Legends booth.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah. Cool. I know Ginger and Christy and Kiki have all signed for James, and he's asked me before too, but I wasn't within driving distance.
Right.
And I think it's crazy that nowadays it's so backwards. They expect you to pay for everything.
Yeah.
I was like,
well, what? I got lucky in that, I'm kind of hooking on with James, but yeah, they want like $800 for a booth. It's like, man, I'm a civilian now. I ain't got that kind of money before.
Same. I'm like, I'm working class now. I just, I don't do porn full time.
I'm on Social Security, man.
I mean, yeah, if you look back, it's like, oh, the money we used to make, but at least I did
All
invest
the
mine
money
well.
we used to spend.
Oh, yeah,
I
you
mean, I
had
remember
to.
going to Atlantic City and just dropping like 3 or 4 grand like nothing,
Oh, yeah, yeah. I
but
was more conservative with my money.
yeah, I should
I
have
I
been,
I
but
didn't gamble, but I would buy but you
I
had to
didn't.
have nice shit to wear, you had to have nice clothes, you had
Oh,
to have this,
100%.
you had to
Yeah.
spend thousands of dollars in clothing, but if you didn't, you made so much money, then you had to pay a shit ton in taxes, so it was like a double-edged sword. You
Yep.
had to fucking spend that money or you're gonna pay the government the money.
I know.
So
I got a $1,500 Versace shirt in my closet right now that, I bought during that era, but yeah,
right.
I wouldn't
Vintage
spend it.
shit now.
Yeah,
We're
exactly.
still but it held its value, so it was worth it.
Yeah. I don't know. Well, the last time I wore it was in a sex scene with Sasha Grey.
So
So,
you'll definitely be able to if you ever
ma-
wanted to sell it just for that factor.
yeah. Well, I put it up on eBay, but I didn't get any response really. Maybe I
Well,
asked
the
too much money.
economy's kind of tough right now for those type of items.
I did sell my awards though about
My
a year,
awards, my
couple of years ago.
ex-husbands took that shit for fucking trophies of their own.
Yeah, but I sold mine. Guess how much I got for them?
How much?
10 grand.
Are you shitting me?
There was a collector in Minnesota. Actually, I had posted a picture of the awards on Facebook, right?
You're right.
And I started getting hit in my DMs. It's like, hey, do you ever want to sell it? Blah blah. So I actually had a bidding war between this guy in Germany and this guy in Minnesota, and the guy in Minnesota won out, mostly because I didn't have to deal with all the foreign wire transfers and shit like that.
Right.
But yeah, the guy in Minnesota outbid the guy in Germany, so he got all my trophies.
I had like, I don't know, 30 or 40 trophies and they're all gone. The only one I had was my Performer of the Year trophy. And
Mm-hmm.
Scotty Schwartz has that because I gave it to him to keep in his keepsakes.
Scotty. Yeah, I gotta have Scotty on this show.
Oh, fuck yeah, for sure.
It's like every time I do an episode, it's like something comes about. Oh, I gotta get them on the show. Oh, I gotta get them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Scotty, he's got that. I gave it to him. I was like, keep this safe for me. It's yours. You can have it because I know you'll treasure it and he's got it in his china cabinet in his living room.
Right on.
But Scotty and I have been like really good friends for 25 fucking years.
Yeah.
He shot my first movie with Ed Powers and that we've been friends ever since.
He was what, the cameraman?
Yeah.
Right on.
Yeah.
Did you know that he was the kid from
no fucking clue.
From Christmas Story?
No, I had no idea.
Now, if you had known that, would you have been able to relax and get it on with
yeah,
Mr. Powell?
Yeah. I was never one of those. I have several celebrity friends because I was never one of those to be like, ooh, oh my God. I've never given a fuck about that.
Yeah.
Ever.
I do.
You're either a good person or you're not.
You know why I give it's weird. It's like, because I've met, a lot of famous people as well over the years. And what's strange about it is like every single one of them knew who I was.
Yep.
Like every single one of, like
yes.
Richard Dreyfuss is a goddamn porn scholar. He was talking about movies I did back in the 80s. I just totally forgotten about,
Right.
But you got to, if you think about it, there's all these, famous people. They can't go out because of the paparazzi and whatnot. So what do? They stay home all the time and they watch porn.
Yes.
So
and we become their stars.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's opposite.
I know.
And I have a lot of friends because of that are celebrities due to that fact. Exactly what we're talking about. I talked to Jasmine St. Clair and we had this exact conversation.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, it's true. It's like they watch porn like we watch TV.
Right.
Because they are so jaded. They don't want to see the actors and actresses that, they've squabbled with or they got this bullshit with or that they know personally.
Yeah.
They're going to pick them apart. They don't want to watch the mainstream shit because they know everybody.
That's the same. That's why I don't watch porn.
Right. I don't either. Yeah. I don't either because I'm like, oh my God, I've had that in my ass, It's like, Oh boy, I've had her between my legs several times, and I've fucked him many a times. Like, yeah, that guy's exploded on my face. That's cool. I don't want to fucking watch him fuck other chicks. I had been there, done that. I'm cool. Like, but it's definitely the exact same thing. And
Yeah.
They get to the celebrity status, they just don't give a fuck about Hollywood movies and all that. They watch us, and we become their fucking celebrities.
Yeah.
It's
But it's
wild.
still
It's fucking
bizarre to me
wild.
when that happens. It's still bizarre to me. Like, I'm sitting there having a 45-minute conversation with Richard Dreyfuss, and I'm going like, this is a guy from Jaws. This is, I'm
Yeah.
thinking,
What the fuck?
and speaking like, whenever I would talk about one of his movies, he would sort of change the subject. Like,
He wouldn't talk about your movies.
Exactly.
Because that's more exciting.
Because I really liked What About Bob? It's like one of my favorite movies. But he had heat with Bill Murray, like serious fucking heat with Bill Murray. So that was one of the things. Well, and I loved you. And what about Bob? You were so great. And he kind of changed the subject
because you don't know the beefs and the quarrels, and all the shit that goes on behind the stage. Like they totally, a lot of these people hate each other. Like they do. Yeah. And they tell you about it, and you're just like, oh, really? Okay. And then, but they hook on to you. And I've had friends for 20 plus years, like that I'm still friends with, that are celebrities. Yeah. And it's just because they are still interested in our friendship, and they know who I am.
Yeah.
And like when I met Simon Cowell, I went to American Idol because Randy Jackson was a big fan of mine, and we had the same doctor. And Randy told the doctor to tell me if I wanted to go to American Idol, he could get me tickets. Well, I ended up going, and then I got backstage passes. And as soon as Simon Cowell saw me, he dropped to the floor, bowed down, and was kissing my feet and like doing the worship symbol to me. And that's when it hit me of, okay, I'm his celebrity.
Right. Yeah. And without question, like every single one I've ever met, and it's like you almost want to, like, give them some inside info or whatever. Right. But also you don't want to ruin their,
don't ever ruin their, because that's all they got.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like, oh, this girl was so, and you had that anal scene with her, and it was so great. But I leave out the part where, but she had a little bout of explosive diarrhea, and
in the middle of it, and we had to clean up.
Middle of it,
45 minutes later, we got back to it.
Yeah, I'll leave out that part,
Yeah, because then it's just not sexy.
Yeah, I don't want to ruin the illusion.
Right. No, you can't ruin the illusion. Yeah, I hold tight to that. I don't ruin the illusion unless they ask. Now they'll ask, was there any mishaps or anything like that? And I'll be like, well, there was this time, where I got shit on using a strap on with so-and-so, and it was fine. Ew. It's fine. Ew. It happens. Whatever. It's like, I was talking to another porn star. It's like porn sets have a certain smell to them that no one else would understand. I could walk into a porn set and know, blindfolded, and know it was a fucking porn set by the minute I took a whiff of the room.
Yeah.
People don't get that either.
Lube and booty juice.
Yeah. Lube, ass booty and lube juice. And spit.
And maybe a little, just a hint of Clorox.
Yeah. Yes. Oh God, and some Axe, because when that Axe stuff came out, that was like a thing too.
What?
Axe cologne, that shit that guys would spray on them before.
Oh, I thought you were talking about like ecstasy, like drugs.
No, like I remember like the Axe spray, like guys smelling like that, lube and ass. You just, like, I'm telling you what, I could walk into a room and tell you exactly what's going on in that room blindfolded. Just
I've never used Axe. Does it smell any good? Is it,
It's all right. But I remember when it first came out, like it was towards the end of my career, like the guys were going crazy for it. Like it was like spraying it down there and spraying it, It wasn't bad, but it was like whatever.
Cool water. Remember Cool Water cologne?
Yes.
Yeah, I like that. But I wasn't really a cologne guy.
Yeah.
I got a nice natural funk.
Yeah. I was never like a heavy perfume and all that body spray, because that was another thing too. I'd walk into porn sets and the girls would be spraying the Victoria's Secret, shit, Bath and Body stuff, that spray all over the place, and you'd be.
I will say this: I was a fan of it was called Poison.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
I like Poison, but that's real perfume.
Yeah.
Like, when I wore perfume, I still have bottles that are 25 years old of like Burberry, and I have Poison.
You were just like,
yeah, because all you need is a dab, and that's
exactly.
That's why I still have it. You know what I'm talking about when people are like,
oh yeah.
And then you're like, ugh. Like I remember walking into some porn sets, and they've got the girls are like covered in this spray, and just being like, okay, we got to fumigate the room for 5 minutes before we can start, so nobody chokes.
Yeah, like I'm not a fan of too much perfume.
No, it's crazy.
So you lived down Georgia way, around that?
Yeah,
that
I actually just barely missed that hurricane. I'm in I'm in the Appalachian Mountains on the North Carolina and Georgia border.
Oh wow!
And it's literally veered about 30 or 40 miles west of me and hit Asheville instead of here. Like it veered that way because it was originally supposed to come right up our ass. And where I live, I'm surrounded by rivers, so we would have been fucked, like real fucked. And we're in the mountains too, so if we get cut off, we're fucking cut off,
Oh yeah.
And it's scary. It was a little too close to home, and it was it's very sad because a lot of the evacuees are here and they're with family that are here.
Right.
One of my best friends, like her cousins disappeared, gone, just gone.
Yeah, that sucks, man. Like, well, plus that area, I don't think is used to hurricanes. You know what I mean?
Fuck no, we're way far from the ocean.
Yeah, it's like Florida. They got that shit locked down. They've got
it. We're not expecting it in the middle of the Appalachian Mountains. Like we're mountain, people up here, and it's just like this is generational, people too that are up here.
Right.
Like my husband's family's been here since 1829 on this property.
Oh, right on.
Yeah, and it's generational. I mean, it's like been here forever, and that's just the way it is in all these parts. And it's so tragic and sad, and it's horrible what these people are going through. But I'll tell you what, these are some of the toughest people in the Appalachians you'll ever see.
Oh yeah,
very resilient, and they will fucking get shit done regardless.
Real ones. Yeah.
These are real motherfuckers up here. Real motherfuckers. Yeah.
So when the storm hit, how was that where you were? I mean,
15 minutes from me, a tornado hit down, and there was some trees that went down, and the power was out, but we didn't lose power. I just happened to be on the other side where it didn't get. Right. And we were just on the very edge of it, and we still had damage.
Yeah.
But it was fixed within a day, except for now our grocery store is still having problems because its main terminal is out of Asheville.
Right.
So we had to, this is another thing, this cashless society thing is unrealistic because in these type of communities, when you only have 1 or 2 grocery stores and their main terminals in Asheville, and they can't run credit cards or debit cards, and people need to get food and stuff, you had to have cash.
Or
check.
Or very fast legs.
Oh, yeah. Right. And around here, everybody's armed, so you're probably not going to get very far.
Oh, yeah.
It'd be like you're going to get shot before you leave out the door just because, some guy feels like, no, you need to pay for that shit if I'm paying for it, so I'm going to shoot you over it. Yeah, they don't give a fuck. And so people up here act right. I'm going to tell you that much. Like no one's stepping out of line, and this whole taking away guns is the dumbest thing ever because you're not going to take them away from criminals. You're going to take them away from the people that are actually going to, defend people against the bad people.
Oh yeah, I'm a big Second Amendment guy.
Oh, free speech and Second Amendment is like my two, biggest things.
Yeah,
and It's really fucking crazy to me that people would be like, that's what our country's founded on. The reason we won is because we had fucking guns. We had guns, and that's why we didn't lose to the fucking British. Now, you ain't taking that shit.
Yeah.
It runs in our veins. It's too far deep in our society and in part of our culture. Like, good luck with that.
Exactly. I think we'd be better off if everyone was armed.
Oh, I agree, because people would act right.
Exactly. The only reason people that gun violence exists is because the people that are perpetrating the gun violence
are the idiots.
Yeah, and they don't get put away either.
No, they just get a slap on the wrist and whatever, keep going.
But if everybody was packing heat like they do in Texas,
they're not going to act like that.
Yeah, exactly. There's none of that goes on. It's always
look at Switzerland. Everybody, they're trained in school to shoot, and everyone there, the government gives you a fucking gun.
Right.
And they don't have that problem.
Exactly. But yeah, I don't know. Any government that wants to disarm you is not your friend.
No. You know what I mean? Any government that wants to ban like anything as an adult.
Yeah.
You should be able to make an adult decision. Like,
exactly.
You know, as an adult, and stop letting kids make adult decisions that are not adult. Like, that shit too fucking pisses me off and makes me sick.
Yeah.
Like, stop fucking with the kids, man. Like, just leave
them
alone.
I know.
Let them be kids.
Exactly. Dude,
like,
I got nieces
shit
and
got weird.
It did, didn't it?
Got like really weird.
Yeah. Well, we'll see what happens November 5th. Not to get too political, but
right now I'm libertarian. I'm in the middle, but at the same time, there's some shit that I don't give a fuck. I will never agree with.
Well, libertarian, I mean, is pretty much at this point sort of Republican. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
it used to be the middle. It used to be the middle, but there's no middle anymore because Democrats have taken it so far into crazy town. You know
there is some moderate Democrats like Tulsi Gabbard, and then she turned around and went Republican.
Yeah.
Because I was hoping she was going to run for president.
Yeah, well.
I was like, she's amazing. She should.
Well, she's going to be she's on the transition team. So if Trump gets in there, you know, who knows?
Because I think like that's the type of woman that I want representing women.
Exactly. Right. Exactly. Someone well.
I come from a very big military. Yeah, I have a big military family.
Mm-hmm.
And she's no bullshit. She's fucking
right.
I love her. Like, she's hardcore. Like, she's great. I feel
talks
like
the talk and walks the walk.
Yeah, absolutely. She's amazing. And we need more of her as a role model.
Yeah. No, I like Tulsi a lot.
Yeah, I do too. She's cool.
Yeah.
And she's very pretty too.
That doesn't hurt.
Right. Yeah. So with politics, I tell people, like, I don't do politics. I don't give a fuck about politics. But right now, some of the shit's getting crazy. And then what I've witnessed, up here, what's going on in Appalachia, I never thought I would witness this kind of shit in my life. The lack of response. Like, they gave Bush hell about. I remember when Katrina hit, and that was a fucking nightmare. Too. It was horrible. And I was like, oh my God, a little late on the response, right? Well, this was fucking very late on the response and still late.
Yeah.
Like, but it finally happened. I mean, they're getting some relief, but it's mostly because the church is stepping in and coming in and taking care of their own. That's what they're doing up here.
Samaritan's Purse, I think, is coming through with a lot of funds. But like I said, Florida, they got it wired down there. They know what they're doing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I was scared to death. My brother didn't evacuate. He did not evacuate.
Yeah, where was he?
Tampa.
Oh wow. Yeah, Rob's mom lives on Sanibel, and she evacuated down to Naples. But from what I hear, Sanibel didn't get hit too hard, a little surge, but her house is fine. So
yeah, my brother didn't even lose electricity because the neighborhood he's in, the wires are all underground.
Right.
So he didn't get affected. He's okay because he's like outside of Tampa a little bit, and he's in the no flood zone. I was like, honey, everything's in the flood zone in Florida at this point. There is no flood zone, but he came out of it okay, thank God, because I was like sick to death last night, just worried about him.
Oh yeah, I was watching all that shit, you know, just.
I was like, We've already survived one up here, and we barely missed it, and it was terrifying, and I'm seeing the after effects on the people's faces when they're in the grocery store and they're walking around because they've evacuated and they're
Yeah.
here
Yeah.
because we're just over the border and we're in a safe town where
Mhm.
people can come and they're still, Airbnbs and hotels and places, or they got family here that they're staying. But they're
Right.
in my town. These people that have absolutely lost everything are walking around my town. My best friend, her cousin's dead. Like I'm just watching all this unfold, and it hits you a little different when you see it with your own eyes.
Oh,
It's
100%.
it's gives you a rude awakening of being very, very thankful for what you have and thankful that you didn't have to go through what these poor people went through. And
Yeah.
it's literally just a hop, skip, and a jump away out of your backyard.
Oh, yeah, I know.
Terrifying.
But, it's nice when people come together and help those, because I remember when the Northridge earthquake back in
Oh,
'94,
yeah. Mhm.
it's kind of the same thing, everything was down, so, that's when I got to know my neighbors a little bit,
Yeah.
it was after
Yeah.
that, so it's good and bad and everything, I guess.
There is, and it's just,
But hurricanes suck. I want to go on
yeah,
record.
I'm like, I'm going to Florida for Christmas, and I'm just like, that shit better just be done.
Well, I
I
look at
don't
it
wanna
this
deal with it.
I look at it this way. It's like they've had 3 major hurricanes in the last, like, couple of years.
Yeah.
Law of averages, it's gotta be like, maybe they'll get a break for a while. I don't
Yeah,
know.
let's get a break for a while. Let's get cleaned up because I'm like, I'm going to Florida in December for Christmas to be with my Florida family, and I'm just
Right.
like,
Yeah.
what
But you know
kind
what?
of shit show do we have now?
But you're going in well, you won't have any hurricanes, but yeah, even by then, the devastation will still be, there. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? You won't have to worry about no hurricanes because it's
No.
December, but yeah, I gotta imagine it's gonna take a while to clean all that shit up.
Oh yeah. At least I feel like Florida's got their shit together and they have
Exactly.
this on routine down there to where it's like wham bam, thank you, ma'am. Like they're on it.
Mhm.
They're already cleaning up.
Yeah, I mean,
It's instant.
they start 2 weeks or 3 weeks before the event
That's
comes,
right. Right.
prepping. I can't imagine that people in North Carolina and all that up there, were
Oh,
prepared
Tom,
because like I said,
we
they
were
they
supposed to get it. We didn't prepare. You know what we did? We got batteries for flashlights.
uh
We got dry goods. You know what good is all that when your fucking house gets 10 feet of water in it? Like,
exactly.
because we weren't expecting all, that shit. And if that would have came over us, no one up here was prepared for that. Nobody.
Right, right. Well,
We're
why would
talking
they? I mean,
zero.
when do hurricanes ever hit, that area of the
Not with that
country?
amount of water. It's
Exactly.
crazy. And it just swallowed the mountain and it swallowed everything around it. And it's like there is one school in North Carolina that's missing over 100 kids.
Mink, yeah.
That's
Kids.
just one school. So this death toll is just gonna keep rising. It's fucking insanity. I'm just so happy like it didn't hit me like good. I'm very
Yeah.
thankful because like it was just one of those I feel like once in a lifetime weird
Right.
100-year storm event type
Mhm.
thing. Like it was just insanity. They'll be talking about this in the books for a long time.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah,
luckily, being where I am up here in the frozen tundra of upstate New York, I don't think we're gonna have any
you're good.
hurricane. Yeah, a little snow and ice but I can handle
Upstate New
that.
York is so pretty though.
Oh, it is. I actually
Beautiful.
during the pandemic, I drove Uber, you
Oh,
know,
yeah.
and I made a ton of money, but more importantly, I got to see the whole area.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
And yeah, you're right, man. It's some really picturesque shit up here.
It is, it's gorgeous, and I feel like
Yeah.
that's what it's like too where I'm at in the Appalachian Mountains, like, people don't realize, "Georgia? Mountains? What?" Like, no, there's Appalachians are in Georgia,
Oh yeah.
and it's beautiful.
My mom was from Georgia.
Oh,
Uh,
yeah, which part?
I think she went to college in Toccoa,
Oh, yeah, that's not
but
far from me.
yeah, she went. Remember Waylon Flowers, the comedian with the Madam puppet? You're probably too young to remember that.
I don't remember that one.
But there was a comedian with a puppet, and his name was Waylon Flowers, and the puppet was called Madam, and it was a thing back in the 70s. That's why you're probably sure.
Yeah, because I was born in 76, Tommy.
Yeah, right. So around when you were born, this is when this guy was hot,
right?
Or whatever. But him and my mom were like, what do you call it? They went to the same school together,
like friends. Or colleagues.
They were at the same college. Yeah, so that was her brush with fame. But I still got some relatives out in the Augusta area.
Oh yeah, they got hit hard by the hurricane. Augusta did. Yeah.
So, but yeah.
But we just keep trekking on. What are you going to do? I mean, life is life, and you and I are civilians now, so it's a whole other world, and people don't understand how difficult it is to go from rock star life to civilian life in a blink of an eye.
Yeah, it was really rough for me in the beginning, like around 2013 or whatever. It was rough just because the business was transitioning,
right?
And I couldn't find a place for myself in it,
right?
So yeah, I went through like a kind of a like, what the hell am I going to do with my life kind of thing, you know what I mean?
Right. Mm-hmm.
But as the years have gone on and everything, I've adjusted a little bit better.
It's like life. Yeah. I tell people leaving the porn industry is like leaving the military.
Yeah.
Because you get into civilian life and you don't look at you don't look at the world the same.
Yeah.
Because you lived in a different world for so long, like reality seems.
Yeah. Well, to me,
it was foreign for a long time for me. Like I had a very weird adjustment period. And then all of a sudden, like, oh, now you're going to be a mom. Like, what?
Yeah.
like, okay, fucking, all right. Jewel denial no longer exists. Now I'm just mom for the next 15 fucking years,
Yeah. Yeah. Fucking life. But, I don't know. We all gotta grow. But the thing about with the porn thing, it kind of keeps you sheltered.
I met the most coolest and most honest people I have ever met in my life in porn.
Oh, 100%. But it also you get into that bubble of those friends and
yes,
and you're kind of sheltered from the reality of the world. You know what I mean?
Until it all disappears and everybody goes their own ways, and then you're just sitting there.
And then
going,
all of a sudden you're sitting there.
This is my life.
And you're at the grocery store, and someone comes up, "Hey, Tom Byron, hey, big fan." I kind of want to go fuck yourself. Leave me alone. I'm in the grocery store. Leave me alone. Fuck you.
Yeah, I never cared. I would, if guys recognize me, I'd be like, yeah, okay, so yeah, I'm gonna finish eating my fucking Cracker Barrel, but it was nice meeting you.
Yeah, I gotta be nicer because I'm really rude when I meet people and they just bother me. It's like, fuck off.
You're a grouchy old man, Tommy.
I know, that's me. Yeah. Well, I gotta wrap this up because we're coming up on the hour.
Yes, sir.
Anything you want to plug? Anything you want to promote?
Definitely go to Kickstarter, hit Mystery Kink.
Mystery Kink.
And pledge to the Kickstarter so we can get this game uploaded and done so everybody can enjoy it, because it's still in the making money phase of, we reached our $5,000 goal. Now we have a $10,000 goal. Once we get that, it's live right now. So you definitely want to go pledge to that with this video game. It's amazing. And it's really cool too, because fans can actually pay a very small amount to be drawn into the game.
Right on.
With you, which is like a big, huge perk. Most companies charge thousands of dollars for that kind of a perk. And this is, a couple $100. You can be drawn in the game with me. And it's going to be very cool. It's going to be one of those timeless things, which I'm so proud to be a part of. So definitely Mystery Kink, and also my OnlyFans, which I think every fan I have left in the world is probably already on there, but all my ones that are still living.
Right
yeah. And so I just kind of do my own thing, man. It's cool.
Cool.
So I appreciate you having me on, Tommy. It's been
thanks for coming
years.
On. Yeah, man. It's nice to relate with people again after, I'm kind of having a blast with the podcast thing.
I hope you find your calling and this is it. And this is like something that you really want to dig your heels into, because I think you'll do good with it.
Yeah, we'll see.
I had fun. I had fun being on it because, it's not always just talking about stupid shit.
Yeah.
It's like, you just sit back and have a normal conversation.
Yeah, that's why when you hit me yesterday, you go, what's the premise? I say, I don't know. We're just going to shoot shit.
Perfect.
Easy.
Yeah. Because some podcasts, there's a premise, they want to cover this, they want to cover that. And that's fine too. I've done those. But when you were like, we're just going to talk like old friends, I was like, I'm in, because I can talk forever. So.
All right. Well, thank you very much. And again, GreenGenieNewYork.com, GreenGenieNY.com. Do you like cannabis gummies?
Hell yeah, I smoke every day. I smoked right before I came on, and I take gummies.
Okay. All right. I'm going to hook you up.
Yes.
So, Jim, if you're listening, we got to hook Jewel up.
For sure. 100%.
All right. I'll talk to you later, sweetie.
All right. Talk to you later. Bye.
Bye.